Hey guys, so this week I saw a very nice new trailer of this tool called Variant. So you can find it at variant.ai. It shows a guy, basically his grandmother's shop, and he's trying to help his grandmother like find out or create new styles for her potential new website. And as you can see, you can, generate new styles, you can create new variants, and based on her designs, as you can see, there's like a lot of designs that she's making. So he's also like remixing different types of designs for her potential website. And then eventually he gets a list of a lot of potential styles he can explore on. And then eventually the movie stops here where they choose this design and she kind of says like, yeah, let's do it. And it's a nice little trailer video for this tool called variant.ai, which as it says over here, in endless designs for your ideas, just scroll. So you basically have this feed of different types of designs, and then you can like click on these different designs and explore and experiment with them. And once we sign into Variant, once we create an account, we can start off by creating a prompt. We have these different things down here that say surprise me, personal blog, note taking app, a brutalist landing page. Also down here on the side, we have the community, which is basically like a bunch of different designs built by the Variant team, which you can then, for example, select and remix the colors, change the styles, explore narrow, explore wide. You have the projects tab, which shows you all of the projects that you've been working on. And then the save design, which I find pretty similar to something like Pinterest. Because for example, when you're in Pinterest and you scroll through a specific topic, if you hover over anything, you can clearly see that you can save something, and then that basically saves onto your profile. And that leads me to the thought that Variant isn't really like your traditional AI prototyping tool. It's more of an exploration tool, and it's more of a place where you can kind of get started, brainstorm, ideate. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I do that here in Variant. And then I'm going to show you like a workaround of how we can get our ideation from Variant and eventually design a prototype elsewhere based on that ideation, and then eventually take that into Cursor where we can actually build out something. But guys, before we get started with today's video, I'd love to invite you guys to my Discord community, the Creator Network. We're a bunch of different designers, developers, startup founders from all around the world, and we get together every single weekday to talk about different tools, different topics, different challenges. So if you guys are interested in joining, link is down in the description below. So as I showed you in the beginning of this video, you can just scroll through this community and you can start saving things. So for example, I like this one, I saved it. I can, for example, bookmark this as well, save it, and we can save another few things, for example, like this one, or maybe we can go down and wait and see. For example, something like this might look cool, something like this as well. And eventually when you go into your saved designs, you can start noticing a pattern. I really like this kind of linear editorial style, very, not a lot of colors, very black and white. And so what I can start doing is exploring deeper. So for example, I can go, let's say this, and I can explore wide. I can click on this button and it starts opening this new view. And then Variant basically provides us with different types of variants, very not similar to this, but kind of like with a similar type of context. But then, for example, I can click on Explore Narrow and we still get quite a very wide variety of designs, even if we asked it for the narrow designs. And I've also noticed that every time you scroll down, it starts generating more and more designs for you, even though you don't really confirm it to generate the designs. I just thought that, maybe that's like empty spaces, but actually every time you scroll down, so if I were to scroll down over here, it starts to generate for me. So very, very kind of interesting or good to know if you're testing this out. Anyways, going back into the saved ones over here, the ones that I really like, let's try something different. Instead of exploring different variants, let's try changing the style. So for example, we can go ahead and maybe we can choose this one. Let's change the style of this. So as you can see, 4 designs are being generated. And then if I just start going like this, 4 other or 6 other or 7 other designs now are actually going to be generated. Anyways, once it's done generating these different styles, I actually like to use that because I like this design in general, and it's just giving me these new different styles to explore with. And so, for example, this one is kind of similar. It's like a different variant. So I don't know what the difference is between a narrow variant and exploring different styles, but I think that this works pretty well. So I'm going to save this one, for example. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to save this orange one as well. Then we can go deeper into these different designs. So for example, if I like this one, I can start shuffling the layout maybe. And as you can see, now it starts to generate on the right side. And simultaneously, I'm going to do the same thing with this one and with this one. And we start to slowly get these different designs being loaded. Some of them do get a little bit messed up, which is totally fine. But cool, you know, once you start liking things, you can start saving these. And then eventually when you go back to your saved ones, you can start seeing them. And then we have this other option, which is see other views. So for example, I can click on see other views. And then other views would be something more of like, you know, this would be the main design. And then we have other pages. So for example, we have map, moods and stories. And this would be like the moods page. But if you really look closely, these things kind of change. This is the height has changed a little bit over here. The style has changed over here. We don't have, this one has a height, an underline. This one doesn't. I would use variants more as obviously an inspirational tool, because the next step that I'm going to show you is like whenever we have our designs, whenever we have our taste, we can start bringing these into like a real design tool and start designing from there. But for example, I like this. I like this one, for example. So let's just click on save. This one is cool. I would say maybe for like a blog page. This one is also really cool to kind of tell a story. And then, for example, I can keep on creating other views based on these other pages that it generated and based on this one as well, for example. And we start getting more views that we can also kind of see are pretty similar. Maybe this one with a gradient, maybe we like, I mean, they pretty much all look kind of similar for now. And then finally, we also have this explore option where we can basically type what we want to explore. So in this case, we have this orange color on the left. We have this white on the right, very, very editorial style. So we can say something like exact same style, but more black and white. Click on enter. And then as you can see, we start getting these variants that match our style. So it's this one, this is the original one. And then we start getting some that are more dark. This is like more something that I would like. And then again, you can just go deep in here, change the styles, remix the colors, shuffle the layout, and you can just go deep in the rabbit hole of inspiration. And now finally, inside of variants, you have this first option where you can compose, right? Enter an idea below to start seeing endless designs, just scroll to see more. You can obviously also add an image as part of your prompt. So for example, I can be on Pinterest and look at different types of some fonts over here and then find something like this, for example, that has this abstract positioning, and we can save this image and then go back into variant and attach that image. And then we can click on make, for example. And then we start getting results, and they're not the best. I would say a little bit off with the layout, but it's totally fine. We didn't really give it context. But for example, we can continue using these tools. Like for example, explore, turn this into a personal portfolio site. And we start getting different results for our personal portfolio site. It's not the best, but it's just good to kind of know that this tool can do this. But something cool that I also want to show you here before we actually start getting some of these designs and starting to make them into real prototypes and bring them into Cursor eventually. Over here, we have the search bar, and we can look at different types of keywords that we can eventually filter out to different designs that we might be interested in. So for example, if we search for dinosaurs, it starts searching different designs in the community maybe that have to do with dinosaurs. So we get something like this. We get digital fossils, other types of things that people have been making. There's not really a lot because again, it's been released, 2 days ago. And the reason why I don't like to prototype in this tool is because, like what I said in the beginning, it's not really a tool for prototyping, right? It's more of a tool for discovery, for inspiration, for kind of like more of this ideation phase. So if I were to click on a design, let's say this one, for example, and I can't really click on anything, nothing is really interactive. Yeah, you can scroll, but you can't really design like a full app here. This might be clickable, but it doesn't really take you back to moods. And another thing is that the editing is kind of still not there. If I were to click on this, how do I change the text? Can I double click and change? No, that doesn't work. I would have to kind of re-prompt it to change, which is kind of annoying. So that's why this tool is just like really great for that that ideation phase and not really for actual design work. So actually, once you're done, once you like a specific design, let's say that we like this one, for example, we have this export button, and under export, we can open it in a new tab, and I can right click and inspect and kind of check out the responsiveness. For example, if I put responsive over here, I can see that it is slightly responsive. Yeah, the globe thing maybe should go away in the mobile view or something like that. But it is responsive, but again, it's not interactive, and making it interactive inside a variant is tough. Then we can also copy the code, download the HTML, or export it as React. And of course, you can download the HTML or export the React code and open it inside of Cursor and continue your workflow there. But I'm one of those people that like to, I don't want to design in Cursor, and I don't like to design with just prompts. I want to bring different things and remix them together visually, like in one infinite canvas. That's why my workflow would be copying the code, and then you can go into a tool like MagicPath, double click over here and say something like build this, paste that code in there, click on enter. And while that generates, you can go back into variant and start doing the same thing with the other views. So for example, we really like this one. We can export, copy code, go like this, double click, say build this, paste, send. And we don't have to build everything. We can, for example, build two main things that we're trying to build eventually. And then we can just take screenshots of like some inspiration. So for example, this one can be like an inspiration. We can take a screenshot of this and then eventually bring that into MagicPath as well. So I can go here, boom, drag and drop, and we can put that actually right next to this one so that when it loads, we can eventually see it next to this one and we can remix it. And then what's cool about MagicPath is that you can start putting things together. You have this infinite canvas, you can draw different things and so on and so forth, bring more images, and then you can remix things together. So for example, I can get this, and I can get this, and I can mix this into one component, and I can say redesign the style of the travel budget dashboard app to match the exact same style of Mars editorial layout. And I can then click on submit. And while that loads, I can also say that you can find any type of website in the internet. Let's say, for example, Zapier.com. You like their style, you like their theme. You can go into MagicPath, go into themes, import the theme from the web, paste this in here, extract the theme, and then eventually you'll get that Zapier theme inside of MagicPath. And this is something very important, especially if you're a designer in a team, because your team is trying to create designs that follow a consistent theme. You don't want the AI to hallucinate when it comes to typography, colors, layout, spacing, and so on and so forth. So that's why using themes is important for you. And so that's why you can just go in here, you can go back into your, variant collection over here, your different inspiration. And then, for example, we can get this one, export this theme or export this design, sorry, copy the code, go back into MagicPath, double click, say build this. And before we hit submit, we can choose the theme. We can choose that Zapier theme over here and click on submit. And then as you can see, we get this nice bright orange, this nice white color in the background, and it matches kind of like Zapier style, but with the design that you brought in from Variant. And looking back up here, the combination between these two ends up getting you this one. And then MagicPath not only you can remix the designs and add the theme and all that, but you can actually continue building out the whole prototype. So we, for example, here we just have this one page, but let's build out the different tabs down here. And then you can ask the AI to build out the different views for you. So for example, the account page or this one as well. And there's just so much to do here. You can create different flows as well. So like how would that onboarding flow look like? How would the upgrade flow look like? And so on and so forth. But let's say once you're done with the actual prototype that you're trying to build, we can go under code and then you can click on open in cursor, which basically allows you to copy a command that you can then paste in your terminal. And then you can name your app and hit enter for this last step. And it opens cursor for me automatically, where I can then just yarn dev this project, command click, and it basically opens the preview of my app, which is in mobile view. So if I click on the iPhone 14 Pro, it's live over here. And then inside of cursor, you can continue on building extra pages, adding APIs, and adding more functionality to your prototype. You can hand it off to developers and so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed today's little workaround. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know down in the comments below. And again, feel free to join our Discord. We'll be happy to meet you. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.